think of acquisitions as redefining the playing field, redefining the market so that you can act differently within that redefined field. Our work is completely and solely focused on business model transformation. We see that to be our work. We're doers. That's what we're doing. We bring in strategies and we provide institutions the necessary resources to get to that future state. But most institutions, when they come to work with CORE, they want these autonomous financial resilience and growth plans. But sometimes that by itself is not the answer. Even if there is an autonomous plan, sometimes the risk profile of that is very different than what it would be if the institution follows a strategic M&A path. So that's we work with many institutions. We're very active in the merger and acquisition space. My topic today is to talk about acquisition as a growth lever. Acquisitions, what they end up doing is they redefine the field. They definitely add scale, but more than scale, they create new entities that have very different reach together. They have different cost basis because you can consolidate cost structures differently. And most importantly, they have different market power together. So think of acquisitions as redefining the playing field, redefining the market so that you can act differently within that redefined field. It's reshaping the markets, it's locking in different geographies, student dynamics, employment ties. Delay narrows the choices. If you know that you are ready to do it, if you know that's a conversation you're having with your board, there are good institutions that we will bring to the table that you will be able to explore, and delay just narrows those choices in the future. And the growth mandate is presidential. We see boards, some members are definitely in for growth and impact, others are risk averse. We see faculty wanting to protect culture, and we see presidential leadership as the key part that makes this happen. The thesis for acquisitions are they're competitive reframes. They shift reach, they definitely add size, but they shift reach, cost structure, and they allow you to compete differently. When you do acquisitions, it brings with it a far greater risk, but it also brings with it amazing potential. It reframes the landscape, it reframes the competitive landscape, if you will. So if that's a known trajectory, then risk is delay. And hesitation narrows partner choices. There are institutions that are absolutely using acquisition as a growth lever right now as we speak. And bold moves changes the map and redefines the market. Mission first, there is definitely the need to preserve identity. The right acquisitions will preserve identity and expand capacity. But we need to think of guardrails, culture, faculty pathways, student protections, programs. We're not buying size. We're designing a different institution in this model. So if acquisitions are so wonderful as a growth lever, why are institutions waiting? There is absolutely a first mover's advantage with consolidations and acquisitions. There is. That doesn't mean all of you have to take it and take the leap at the same time. It doesn't. But if some of you are ready, you should, because there is absolutely first mover's advantage. And a strong growth thesis, if you have that, if this plan is developed, then it'll be easy to take acquisitions and frame them as opportunities because they are not the plan. They're levers that work only when aligned with a very clear growth thesis. In the right partnerships, you've got some stress that meets direction and scale. You've got niche that again meets scale, and you've got reach that meets mission. So those are some partner archetypes, not to limit. The biggest thing I would say is acquisitions let us shape the market rather than react to it. Separate asset value of the institution as an asset in totality, not just the real estate asset, but assign asset value to the institution that is different from their current state. You have to evaluate potential based on future state synergy and not just present state weakness.